Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Saturn Slam Reviews. It is Saturn Slammies time. I know we've been on unplanned sabbatical for a while, but we had a lot of burnout on my end, and
A
but
lot
we
of
have a
laziness on mine.
plan for the future of the show. I will discuss it before we get into the awards here. So we are going to make a few changes to this show moving forward that will hopefully help us be a little more consistent in our releases.
Scheduling.
We have a scheduled, hard scheduled recording time now, and so this show will air as it has been on Sunday, but we will record it Thursdays at 8 as per usual, and it will air the following Sunday. And pay-per-view reviews, WWE pay-per-view reviews, will be cut back. We're going to scale it back to like only A shows, and we're going to mix in some more New Japan shows too, some of their bigger shows throughout the year, get a bit of a mix. Prediction shows are no more. Prediction shows are always a tough one to squeeze in. And quite frankly, what does it matter?
Yeah. It's just gonna us being depressed and then watching is all our worst fears come true. At least that's how it was for the main roster.
Yeah, we will make takeover predictions in our regular episodes, which will feature a weekly NXT review and just some time to speak about all the other stuff in wrestling. This is where we will likely give our thoughts on WWE B shows, just general thoughts. We'll talk about a specific match that was good. If we saw something on Raw or SmackDown that we liked, 205 Live, NXT UK, etc., we'll talk about it then and just talk about some of the major news of the week.
For example, we'll do one quick one right now.
Yeah.
That I let's get this out quick and early so people are like, what are you doing? Rest in peace, Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah, Mean Gene Okerlund passed away at the age of 76, due in part to injuries he suffered from a bad fall. His son said that he fell in late December and suffered some broken ribs, and it caused a rapid decline in his health. I was shocked when I heard that Mean Gene had died because he had just appeared in the Andre the Giant documentary earlier this year.
He was looking chipper.
And he was looking fine. He looked to be in great health. So that's extremely sad. There's never anyone as good as Gene at his job. He could make any interview segment good, even if the person wasn't a very good interview. He would drag it out of them. The opposite of the interviewers today, who they'll interview a guy like Samoa Joe, and you'll come away from the interview being like, damn, Joe's like the best interview in the company. And then you'll think, that was the worst fucking interview I've ever seen.
Yes.
Them. But not Gene. Gene made things better.
Perfect straight man.
Yeah. And predictions will be an addendum to the Go Home show for each takeover. We will not do them for main roster pay-per-views or New Japan pay-per-views. So our first New Japan show ever recapped in its entirety on this. I think we've reviewed the Omega Jericho match from last year's Wrestle Kingdom. But this year we're going to be watching the entirety of Wrestle Kingdom. All presumably 5 or 6 hours of it.
Whoop.
It looks like it's going to be a very strong card. I'm looking forward to several matches on it. Jericho Naito 2 should be excellent. Omega and Tanahashi should be very good as well. And Kota Ibushi versus Will Ospreay has a strong chance to be match of the year already.
It's about January, just setting the bar high from the get-go.
Yeah. So,
not that we're giving away some of our results for what we thought of this year or anything.
Yeah. So without any further ado, we shall discuss the Saturn Slammies, our award winners for 2018. What a shit year for WWE 2018 was.
NXT was the life raft.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call it a storm. I can't call it a storm because storms have a lot of things going on and they're exciting. This is like, I don't know. I'm fucking laying on a towel on top of the smooze and you're just sinking into it. You gotta go. You gotta find something, some way to get out. Nothing
there
can
were
stop the smooze.
Some very unfortunate circumstances for the company that hurt it. They spent 5 years almost building up one specific guy, and unfortunately that one specific guy is not going to be in the picture for the foreseeable future, which is proof positive of why you should not build around one specific guy.
Yeah, you can you can have a cool feud with one guy, with a couple guys, and make that like your top feud. But I don't know, like time and time again, where we saw WWE fail and have problems all along. We see, I love NXT. I'm just gonna suck its dick all year. Like NXT was the show of learning, like teachable moments. I feel like NXT is that nice college you go to where the professors are really cool and
Full Sail University.
Exactly. Right. And there's the nice labs with all the equipment that you get to use. And the professors, like, they're up on the latest shit all the time. And, things go weird, but the professor's like, whatever, we'll go with the flow. We'll move the test to whenever. It's cool. Oh, Aleister Black he got injured. Yeah, okay, that sucks. Spin it into a whole story. And then it became amazing, right? Yeah. And then they're all happy and they feel good about their life and they're at the top of their game. They graduate, they move up to the main roster, and they're like, yeah, it's work. We got nothing for you to do. Just chill.
Yeah. A lot
Enjoy
of Almas, Ember Moon. I can't even remember the last time Ember Moon was even on television. Killian Dane.
All of Sanity.
Yeah, brought up, immediately made jobbers, and then off television until they started to shake things up again and remember that they're on the roster. And I don't think they've appeared on TV since the shake-up. But yeah, it was bad. But NXT was good, and as you'll notice, most of the positive awards have to do with NXT. So
it's what kept me tuning in to the network every week.
Yeah. 2018 has to go down as the year of one man in particular. This man swept pretty much every award category he was eligible for. And that man is one Jonathan Gargano.
Jonathan Garganathan.
Yes, Jonathan Garganathan.
If we had the nice timing, I was going to cut you off and be like, of course, it's our man, Kona Reeves. Only the finest.
Only the finest 2-week push for Kona Reeves.
Speaking of quick push and then jobber forever. I guess I don't care because he wasn't particularly engaging.
No, I think that's why this push was stopped. I think we're going to have a similar thing happen to the Forgotten Sons because that's an act that's not exciting at all. Hey guys, sorry about that. We've sacked those responsible for the technical difficulties.
We've sacked Kona Reeves.
Maybe. I haven't seen him on television for a while. But yeah, this is not about Kona Reeves. Not an award winner. Strong, maybe honorable mention for Mook of the Year.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
Not on this day. Male Superstar of the Year goes to Jonathan Garganathan.
Johnny Wrestling. Okay, Johnny Failure.
Johnny Gargano had quite the 2018. going from indelible babyface to psycho heel and possibly back again in early 2019. We shall see.
Who knows? This was an arc. The man had an arc.
Man had a very well done character arc, and it doesn't hurt that he had several of the best matches of the year. Multiple 5-star matches, multiple 4.5-star matches. I think his average star rating on takeover matches and even fucking matches on NXT television is probably the highest in the company. I haven't busted out a spreadsheet to figure that out, but I would feel very confident in saying that.
He puts his ankles in the matches, and they, Triple H and William Regal know that, and they save him for when it's really time.
Yeah, he just a number of outstanding matches this year, including our match of the year, yes, which comes from January.
We decided this at the next week, and we knew, and nothing has changed our minds on this.
No.
There are some good contenders. There were some really great contenders, which are in other awards coming later in the night.
Yes.
But for just strictly match of the year,
there was a good amount of matches this year, but none better than Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano from TakeOver Philadelphia. Just perfect story, perfect wrestling, arguably the best match in NXT history. And it built it well, and you thought Ciampa was going to come and ruin the finish, but he didn't. He came after the finish, almost won, mostly clean in the middle.
Yeah.
And it was probably the best match on a show where the match before it we thought wouldn't be topped.
where Adam Cole nearly severed his vertebrae.
Adam Cole survived the chairs to appear in the Royal Rumble the next night,
which is secret honorable mention for most incredible, the spot of the year.
Yeah,
the Sony.
I would say spot that. I'd say that's a spot of the year. The only other thing I would put in that category would be the rolling Death Valley driver on the ladder from the
six-way
ladder match.
Yeah, or it's just ladder match. Yeah, when Ricochet and Velveteen just made a death pact with each other.
Bro, give me that rolling DVD on the ladder. Velveteen's like, I don't want to hurt you, bro. He's like, just do it. Trust me, fam.
Let's do it. They had the recap show for NXT with featuring match between Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno. It was good. It gave me. I didn't care about Ohno. I'm starting to care about him. But anyways, the recap show, it showed that whole match in its entirety, the 6-man ladder match, and I forgot how just insane it was. How many just things broke? How many men almost died that night?
How many people broke?
I was just the ring was the belt hanging from the ring was instead of the ceiling up there, that was just Valhalla. They were just suspending. Only a warrior could make it to the top.
Only a true warrior can make it to the top.
And Adam Cole.
And Adam Cole was that warrior. Although, despite match of the year coming from the Gargano-Almas feud, since the majority of that took place in 2017, and that Gargano's next feud would be so much more compelling. Kicking off with that match, feud of the year, I think, is a windmill slam dunk for Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Tomato champs. Beautiful champs. Heel. If we don't do heel of the year, he would be heel of the year.
He would be. He is
that bald fuck.
Better heels they've had in a while. I think, unfortunately, now people are starting to cheer for him
because he's so compelling.
Yeah, which is the hard part about being heel. I think Jake the Snake Roberts said this. He's like, it was always hard to be a heel because if you did a good job as a heel, you'd start to get over as a babyface. And I would not say Ciampa's over as a babyface per se, but he's definitely not getting booed. I think that's why
He's a smart favorite.
Yeah, I think that's why he has entrance music now, is because the boos were starting to lessen, and they wanted to, cover that up.
It also works nice on his video packages.
It does. It's if it's the style of music you'd think Tommaso Ciampa would come out to.
Every time you hear just that fucking heart monitor.
I swear to God, when that first came out, I'm like, what the fuck is Taz doing down here in NXT?
Insipid Ciampa music.
Brings us to Tag Team of the Year. Tag Team of the Year. Not a great year for tag teams. Of course, there was a great tag team feud in Mustache Mountain versus the Undisputed Era. And the Undisputed Era was just generally fantastic. So, because I love all of the Undisputed Era, and they're technically a tag team, we are awarding the Tag Team of the Year to the winners of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, the Undisputed Era.
What is it? I got to do it backwards. There we go. Yeah. Boom. We have their shirts. We love watching them. They're the band of thieves who hang out on the fucking jungle gyms behind the school, underneath the bleachers. They're sanctuary, except for when War Raiders went through. I'm thinking about all the tag teams. Like, I like Heavy Machinery just because they're fun. Yeah. And Otis Dojovich is the treat. And every time he yells Tucky. Tucky! I smile on the inside and the outside. Tucker Knight's a great bouncing off. I'm going to be sad if Otis has to go on his own in the main roster. I don't know how that's going to go, because so much of him was being able to bounce off of like an ally, bouncing off of his tag team partner. It was all uplifting, and they're all like, yeah, we're always training and we're working together, and what a thing.
They're good friends. Imagine that, tag teams that get along.
Yeah. But then we also had Street Profits and TM61, which is now the Mighty.
Which is now gone, as Nick Miller has been released from the company.
Why? I forget what.
I believe
I didn't hear.
He wanted to spend more time with his family. He requested his release, and it was granted. So now Shane Thorne is going to try to go as a single. And, honestly, he was the best part of that team.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he has what it takes to really break through, especially in NXT's current thing, where you have I believe still the current Evolved champion, Fabian Eichner, not appearing on TV regularly.
Oh,
yeah. The Street Profits were Evolved Tag Team champions for a cup of coffee there.
Yeah. Yep.
Their match in Evolve was actually pretty good.
Yeah, they can. It happens once in a while. Like they can pull out a good match. It's just the gimmick was a little weird, and they never stole my heart. Like some other tag teams, and certainly like the Forgotten Sons.
Oh my God, forget them.
The most on topic name I've ever seen, and I it's so ironic because their whole gimmick is like, we won't be forgotten anymore. I'm like, but you will, because you're not inspiring. I don't even remember your names. One of them's Riker. I only remember that because it sounds like a kid from the 90s.
Jackson Riker, the former gunner from TNA. Yeah, it's just.
Oh, and Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. They're great. They're fine.
They're
life.
Great. Yes. The Evolve 119 is coming to Brooklyn January 18th. Oh wait, I'm gonna be in Greece. Never mind.
Greco-Roman wrestling.
Yeah. It's just the Forgotten Sons. They're a dead act. They're really, there's nothing about them that's captivating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rough
female
year for
superstar.
tag teams. What?
Yeah. Oh, what? We're
No,
still on tag teams.
no, I was just saying it was a rough year for tag teams on the main roster.
It was. Um, maybe that's all right. Yeah, in the main roster, what even there is because the bar, like I think yeah, I think like the bar they didn't do anything. You had like no one,
They kept
no one.
the Bar Usos and New Day just kept wrestling each other, and sometimes it was good, but you can only see that match so many times before you get a little sick of it.
Yeah, it's like the authors of pain were there for a second. I remember they stepped in for just a pinch, but like they brought up sanity, they brought up the authors of pain, the Ascension is somewhere.
I think they're still employed.
Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah.
Man, what the fuck are you even?
They weren't on television for 4 straight months.
Y'all got it. Y'all have a roster. And y'all have some belts you need to uphold. You can do that with more than just 2 dudes. This really does feel like Vince is just his amnesiac brain is trying to like think of a tag match, but he always forgets like that you just did the same match.
Yeah. All right, what's our next category?
Female superstar of the year.
Well, this if it weren't for the past 3 months, I think this would have been an easy give to Kairi Sane.
Mm-hmm.
But Becky Lynch has just been on a rocket ship to the moon. She's become the biggest star in the company, and she did it largely on her own. And I'm very happy for her.
In spite of the company.
Yes, very much in spite of the company.
In that way, she is our spirit animal, and the spirit of many a Smarkin analyst out there, because they all know where the company needs to go to really to go to that next level. And Becky also knows, and she's like, I'm just gonna do it.
They don't have to move forward. They have to move back to the era before everything was so micromanaged. Like, I'm sure Becky, a lot of her promos are scripted and stuff, but there's an aura about her where you feel like she is doing the character she wants to do. And she carries herself like a star, which is very important. And yeah, she's just she's had a hell of a run, and had some great matches. The main event of Evolution was very, very good. The main event of TLC was also very good. We'll see. She's going to be at least 1/3 of the main event of WrestleMania this year. I'm fairly certain. Probably half. I think the match they should do is Becky and Ronda in a singles match. I think Becky should win the Royal Rumble, last eliminating Nia Jax, close up that story, and then challenge Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship and win.
Yeah. Be another champion that everyone would enjoy that isn't Blondie with the skeleton. Alexa Bliss. Yeah. Or the boss. It's boss time. What's her name?
Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks.
I understand why you forget her, because she hasn't been on television in ages.
Oh my god. Like, that's one of my secret pet peeves this year. Less secret. There are many problems. One of them is how much not wrestling has been going on in wrestling, or at least in main roster. Yeah. It just feels like when I watch the pay-per-views, even though they're in the ring and they're like, they're going at it, I just feel like I'm not watching any. I only get like 2 hours of wrestling in this like 4-hour show.
Yeah, that's very true. Are we on show of the year or promo of the year?
Before that, just quick shout out to Shayna Baszler for like most improved.
Yes, Shayna Baszler has become very good. I think she's now better than me. We were like the
She's
same wrestler for a while, but I think she's edged above me now. And congratulations.
she's got a groove that she's in. She's got her goons.
She's got her goon
She's
squad now.
comfortable. There's still potential there. She
Her
can still
goons
go up.
her goons need to improve.
Yeah.
They are right now just okay. They're not laughably bad, but there's nothing about them that makes me say, yeah, they're taking to this like Ronda and Shayna did.
Yeah. I would be excited in 2019 if they could. There's some very very like big push or some sort of energetic feud that go on that could sort of jumpstart even like a women's tag belt in any of the
Oh, they've
rosters.
announced that the tag belts are coming, women's tag belts.
Oh, beautiful. It's been on the cusp for a while.
Yeah, that's been supposed to happen for a long time now. But Vince just spliced a clip of him into SmackDown this week saying, Women's Tag Team Championships are coming in 2019. Okay, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever. I suspect they'll do a tournament with the finals happening at WrestleMania. That would be my suspicion. But yeah, so
Yes.
promo of the year?
Sure, let's do promo of the year.
We gotta give it to the one and only
Velveteen Dream.
Wow.
Ambiance.
Yeah, he's just very unique promo style. And you know the content of what he says is good too. He has good delivery. He's believable. He's very true to his character. This was a tough category because there are a lot of people you could give it to. You could give it to Samoa Joe. You could give it to Daniel Bryan.
Give it to Ciampa for his fucking cereal videos,
manifestos,
his
yes.
Unabomber shots. This is mine.
Broadcasting from the Comcast Customer Service Center in hell.
It's his day job.
Yeah. But Velveteen Dream just, if not largely winning on the uniqueness of his promos. But still, solid promos. Honorable mention I'll give to Samoa Joe for taking all the terrible shit they've given him and making it work. Like that fucking children's story.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how he fucking did it, but he made that badass. Joe is the only
good,
guy.
but they don't care about it.
Yeah.
They're just like they turn into Steiner when they think that he's gonna be a champion. It's like, I don't want his
He's
fat ass.
Scott Steiner secretly
Steiner's
booking
Vince's
SmackDown.
spirit animal.
Yeah, I'm surprised Vince didn't push Steiner harder when he had him.
They seem very in sync.
It was during the Triple H reign of terror.
Oh yeah, and Velveteen gave us one of the better memes, one of the better wrestling memes.
The Dream has no memory of that. That's fucking fantastic. I love that they reference Tough Enough, and I love that Velveteen Dream's like, I have no memory of this. As well he shouldn't.
Eliminate. Delete.
Show of the year.
Show of the year.
NXT
Show of the year,
TakeOver
boys.
New Orleans. A
Yes.
show bookended with 5-star matches. The 6-man ladder match we've discussed earlier for the North American title. I'm sorry. There was a pretty good tag match that saw Roderick Strong join the Undisputed Era and make me very happy.
Oh yeah, that was in New Orleans. Man,
there was a pretty good women's match between Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane, I believe.
seems right.
Or maybe it was Ember Moon. It was Ember Moon.
Oh wow, she stayed that long?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I feel that's true.
Oh. It's fine. It was a good women's match.
Yeah. And the excellent NXT Championship match between Almas and Aleister Black, which saw the poetic justice moment of Zelina Vega attempting to interfere and
And then he
causing the
gets,
Black Mass finish.
oh my gosh, almost carrying Vega and then getting roundhoused in the face. He just gave up. We're done. I was like, yes, get out of here.
You had 3 of the 5 matches on this card over 4.5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty good show.
it just carries, man. Like, and this makes me super pissed that Almas got carried up. He went up to the main roster, as he should. You know, he deserves it. He's got the talent. He could make a splash. He's got everything. But they didn't give him anything. They didn't do him anything.
They were pushing him pretty well for a while, and then they stopped, and he wasn't really doing anything for a while, and now he's on television, but losing. Granted, he's losing high-profile matches against people like AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio and Mustafa Ali, who's getting a big push right now. But he's still losing. We'll see what they do. I think the best thing for him to do is enter into a feud with Rusev for the U.S. title and win the U.S. title and be U.S. champion for a little bit. You can have matches with guys like AJ Styles and who are the baby faces on SmackDown? Mustafa Ali, Rey Mysterio, all people he's lost
Daniel
to.
Bryan for a second, but now he's a hippie.
People he's already lost to, unfortunately.
Shane? Does Shane still do stuff anymore?
I don't want to see Shane wrestle.
Is Shane on Raw now?
Shane looks like he could keel over at any moment and die. I don't want to see that happen. So now we have some anti-awards. These are awards given to the worst and the most perplexing. Starting with crowd favorite Mook of the Year award, which we have decided to award to AJ Styles' ballsack for never protecting itself despite abuse from several of his opponents. Shinsuke Nakamura. I think even Samoa Joe low-blowed him a couple times in there.
He thinks that working stiff will put you over. That's not the case. It just
Daniel
makes someone make a compilation supercut of every time your nuts get hit to the 1812 overture.
That was amazing.
And now that's like that's like the thing I think about when I think of AJ Styles is getting hit in the nuts. Most of the time by Nakamura.
Nutcracker Nakamura.
Isn't that great that's his character now? That's his persona.
Yeah.
Is I hit people in the nuts and I cheat.
I would check out this week's SmackDown if you haven't had a chance. There was a great match between Rusev and Nakamura for the U.S. title. Probably Rusev's best match ever that I've seen. And probably Nakamura's best match since coming to the main roster.
That's really heartening.
And a excellent main event featuring Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Mustafa Ali, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe in a number 1 contenders match. That was really good. So, SmackDown, worth checking out. New Year's Eve episode of SmackDown. Worst show of the year, not worth checking out. We couldn't pick between these two. One is like a real pay-per-view, and the other is a sideshow that should never have happened. Backlash, a show that was just so wretched and so poorly thought out that it just you had people leaving early and just cascading the main event in boos.
It's the Glass Toilet Museum, aka consistently ass. Just every exhibit. All this one's ass.
There was precisely one watchable match on Backlash, and it was Seth Rollins versus The Miz.
Oh yeah.
That led off the show, if I recall correctly, and everything else was shit, including the rematch between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, which resulted...
Was that the double KO?
I think that was the double dick kick, if I remember correctly.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Which led to a last man standing match, which could have had the same finish.
Yeah. They didn't do anything with it.
They didn't build the stipulation.
I don't think either of them brought a cup,
No. That would have been great. Nakamura went for the nut shot, and then AJ Styles didn't flinch, decked him in the face, and pulled out his cup. That would have been a great pro wrestling moment. But no, we can't have those. Main roster WWE. The other was Crown Jewel, an absolutely abysmal show with, I would say, no watchable matches. I mean, AJ, some of the tournament matches weren't the dirt worst, and AJ and Samoa Joe had an okay match, but not only was the show terrible, with such highlights as Brock Lesnar reclaiming the Universal title against Braun Strowman after Baron Corbin distraction, a main event in which the combined age of the participants was 210 years old, and Triple H tore his pec 5 minutes into the match. So a bald Shawn Michaels had to try to hold this match together against Undertaker and Kane, who are not the men they once were.
No. They shouldn't come back.
They should not have come back.
Damn it.
And did we already talk about how Shane McMahon became the best in the world by winning the World Cup tournament to determine the best in the world, despite not actually being in the World Cup tournament to determine the best in the world?
I didn't watch this show because I was like doing other stuff, and I'm like, this was also the other thing about this was that it was a blatant cash. This was the Star Wars holiday special of pay-per-views. Just this blatant cash grab out on the side that has no redeeming value at all.
And to make matters worse,
I didn't catch
this came hot off the heels of the Saudi government's involvement in the murder of that journalist.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a show in Saudi Arabia.
'Cause money.
Yeah, Crown Jewel is just... it's better left forgotten. It'll go down. We'll shove in the same pit that we shoved December to Dismember 2006 and WrestleMania 27 into, and we'll just forget about it.
Leave us now.
Yeah. And finally, the last Saturn Slammy to be awarded on this night. The most 2018 moment of 2018.
Which, this moment, because the year to me was marked by a duality, depending on what you were watching. You could get entirely different ideas about this year. But, so in the spirit of that, I guess what I'm saying is, there's one moment that I could think of that shows you both sides.
A series of moments, if you will.
Yes. You could see the same exact series of moments. Depending on what you were watching, though, they would be interpreted entirely different ways. So my most 2018 moment of the year, with a side shout out to bald, glasses wearing, weak chins, Mark guy in the front row of the NXT shows who's standing up every night. It was there at Full Sail all year. You're an icon now. You're like the Ken Bone.
You're the Ico Pro banner from
yes.
the original Raw set.
But the most 2018 moment was a wrestler coming out to no theme music and intense booing.
This was Tommaso Ciampa's theme music for a good portion of his 2018 run, and also greeted several main roster performers for entirely different reasons.
Which was bad. Like,
Yeah. So we'll see if WWE can improve in 2019. We will definitely improve in 2019 by watching other things. Since we're only going to do WWE shows, we might do some more retro pay-per-views. I know we started that and then stopped.
very quickly.
And we said we'd get back to it and never did. But cutting back on the WWE shows we review and the New Japan major shows being kind of few and far between will afford us, hopefully, an opportunity to do that. So we'll keep you posted on that. 2019, we're going to try to get back on this and do a better job of
this will be the year of redemption.
Yes. So thank you for watching, and we'll be back next week.
As we should. Slam on!